youth runner here with Sacred Heart Cathedral Star, third place in Division 3, the magnificent Miles Cook, 14:54.5. Absolutely brilliant effort, incredibly high quality from that entire front trio of you and Evan Noonan and Liam Miller. Like, just, you've been so consistent, all the way back from from Lowell, but just to be in that atmosphere, to be in that environment, like to be like the best of the North, against the top guys in the South. Like, just what did that energy feel like on the course?
I mean, one thing about NorCal running is it's a tight-knit community, so there's something about being out there on the course. I heard a ton of boys I know from the North Coast section, Central Coast section, like just so many familiar faces out there cheering, representing, so you really feel like it's a smaller section, you're competing against the much more well-known, SoCal schools, but you really feel like you got people on your side, so I kind of like it personally.
Well, 100%, and obviously I heard them. I heard people loud and proud for Miles Cook. Like I said, I mean, having the blessing of watching you execute at such a high level, back on September 7th, at Golden Gate Park at Lowell, and then just continuing to see you get better, just develop and improve and evolve and mature. Like, how proud are you of the journey, but also kind of the consistency along the way?
I mean, consistency for me is really what I've prided myself on. Consistency in a lot of things, not just like a day or two or a week or two of training, but like, building since June, since July, and really working towards this race. And even if I didn't crack the 14:50 I wanted, I mean, I'm certainly happy with the performance I put out here today. And like, sure, it's great to put out, big races at Woodbridge or all these September times, but all that matters really at the end of the day is this race, and I think I had the race I wanted today. So.
I mean, the way things had gone, at Crystal, and and kind of just your build, and with the 2 weeks in between to kind of really fine tune things. Like, did you because obviously whether Evan ran in the 14:30s again like he did last year, or low 14:40s like he did today, did you feel like training had given you the reassurance that you could find that level?
I mean, I've always been confident in my training. We had some really good workouts in the last 2 weeks in CCS leading up, and I felt pretty good about my effort solo there. But one thing I know about Evan is that he's a racer who'll take it a mile to go. So I said, if I put myself in it with 2 miles, 2 miles in, I know I can be there, and that's when the real racing begins. So I felt pretty confident.
Just your ability to like, as challenging as courses like Crystal are and Golden Gate Park are and Woodward Park are, you just look like you're it's such familiar territory for you. Like, you just you look like that's where Miles Cook is meant to be. Like you said, like, people can go under the lights at Woodbridge and you want to chase these crazy fast 3 mile times. Like, it just seems like you, like, the bigger the challenge and like the more legit the course and like the more respect and legacy the course has, like, that's where you want to be. Is that a fair assessment?
That's very fair. I mean, I love the hills. That was a big focal point of my training this summer. I was pounding 4,000, 5,000 elevation feet weeks. I mean, running in San Francisco, you can't really escape it, so I figured might as well make it a strength in my running. So I mean, coming out here, I knew the hill at the halfway point was going to be an area where I could push. I mean, Crystal, a lot of hills. Like, personally, I like the hills. I think they help me.
Most definitely. Last thing, when I think back to that day at Golden Gate Park and think about your brilliance, think about Connor Lott's brilliance, and then how it manifested itself today, where he's winning a Division I championship, and and obviously your incredible performance. Just the fact that, like, you can only be the best version of Miles Cook, but like sometimes when there's other great competitors around, like I say metaphorically, when you have dance partners, like it only makes you better. Like again, even if it wasn't all the way meeting like that sub 14:50 goal, like when you can be in a race on a podium with Evan Noonan and Liam Miller, and so many other brilliant athletes, like, what does that mean to you?
I mean, being able to come out here today and like even racing with my future teammate Liam, like just being able to push each other, it's truly special. I think we kind of had a moment about 2 miles in. We're like, hey, we're leading this thing. Who knows what's going to happen last mile? We had a little fist bump, and he said, let's make it work. Let's make it happen. So I mean, I really enjoy racing with other people. No one likes racing alone. And I mean, the more the merrier, I say.
Well, although you did it brilliantly at CCS, so I know that you are a man for all terrains, a man for all hills, a man for all distances, and a man for every podium. Again, the great Miles Cook, Sacred Heart Cathedral, 14:54.5, third in the Division III state final. Great job. Congrats.
Thank you so much.